to this new walkthrough example in which I will be using both Drive Automator and Drive Apprentice to set up a workflow in which your students can unlock for free the first lesson of a premium paid course. The idea is as it follows. You have this free digital illustration course on your website for all your registered users. Now, anyone wanting to take this course just needs to sign up for an account or log in into their already existing accounts as long as they have subscriber roles, and they are automatically granted access to it. Now, in parallel with this course, you are also selling a premium one, so a premium product from Drive Apprentice. And your plan is to basically give them a sneak peek into the course by offering the first lesson of the premium one for free. And this way they can see what this course is about and how much they could benefit from buying it. So while the first lesson will be unlocked for free, the remaining content can be accessed only after purchasing the product and will later on be dripped on a weekly basis. So before starting with the process of setting everything up, you should already have your Drive Apprentice courses published and protected with some access restriction rules. Then it's ideal to already have an integration with a checkout tool or a membership plugin. I will be using Sandal for this example, but there are other platforms that you can use, and I'm linking this article that you might find helpful if you want to decide which one to go for. And lastly, we will be using Drive Automator and the drip feature of Drive Apprentice. So again, if you know the principle behind them, it's great. But for those two, I will take you to the process of setting everything up from start to finish. Now feel free to also use all the resources that I will be linking here throughout this tutorial if you want to go into more detail about how to use these plugins and features. Okay, so let's move over to our Drive Apprentice course, to the free one, and set up the necessary details. So I have here my free digital illustration course, and I can go ahead and set up a label from here, letting the users know that this is for free and you only need to be subscribed in order to access it. Now let's also set up a drip schedule from this tab right here so that the content will be dripped to my students daily over the next days, in the course of a week, for example. And on the very last day, when the last lesson will be dripped, the students will be able to see a button that basically redirects them to the start of the premium paid course. We will later return to this last lesson after we set up the premium course. And this is just to make sure that we insert somewhere in the lesson content a direct link to the premium one so that the students can easily access it. This way, the users who are completing the first course, so this one, can click on the link and get redirected to the start of the premium course. And through their action, they are basically unlocking the first lesson of the paid course thanks to the automation that will be triggered in the backend. Okay, so the drip campaign that I will be creating is an evergreen repeating one. Let's just call it evergreen repeating. And it will start to drip feed course content when the user starts the course. Now let's also create a product based on this course. And as soon as we do that, we will be taken to this view from where we can set up the remaining details. So in this Access Requirements tab, we can make sure that this course is available only for those users who have the subscriber role. Then let's apply a drip schedule. And this is the one that we've just set up. And lastly, from here, we can choose what content to display to those visitors or users who do not have the necessary permissions to access the course. So it might be the case for the users who are not logged in or for the users who are trying to access content that is still locked by drip. So here by default, the system will inherit the default site behavior that's set up on site level right here. But I want to be more specific with this course. So let me just set up a new set of access restriction rules. So for the users who are not logged in, I plan to display the login and registration page. And here I will set some custom content, which is basically this predefined template. But of course, you can customize this too if you want in the Drive Visual Editor. Okay, so this is set up for the time being. Now let's follow the same steps for the premium course for which the students will have to pay. So let's go back to the courses list, access the premium one. Here as well, we can set a label, and in this case, I'm going to pick this one. And this is just to inform the users that this has premium content. Next, let's set up a drip campaign, and in this one, we need to make sure that new content will be dripped weekly and only after the students purchase the course. And this would be the trigger that will set off the dripping of the content. So I've selected once more the evergreen repeating template. As you can see, the trigger is when the user purchases the product, and the content to be unlocked is in the form of lessons, starting after the first lesson and on a weekly basis. Now, at the moment, as this is set up, after the students buy the course, they will receive instant access to this first lesson, and later on they will keep receiving new content each week. But in order to access this first lesson, they have to purchase the course. But my plan is to offer this first lesson for free, so for that I need to make sure that I set here a new condition that basically allows the students to unlock the first lesson for free without having to buy the course first. So the unlock condition that I will be adding here is a Thrive Automator action. So now the next thing that I will be doing is creating the automation, and this automation that I set up there will be basically linked to this Thrive Automator action from here. Okay, so with this saved, we can just go ahead and add this course to a product and set up the necessary access restrictions. So here I want to make sure that my course is protected to a send out product. So let me just pick my send out product from this list. And then I can go on and apply the drip schedule that I've just created. And then here once more we can customize what content will be shown to those users that do not have the necessary permissions for accessing this course. So for the not logged in users, I will keep on the registration page. And then for these two instances, I will show some custom content in which I'm letting them know that this course needs to be purchased first, and I can even include the purchase link there if I want, so anyone that's stumbling across this content will have the purchase link on hand in case that person wants to buy the course. So I've just added a simple button, and here in the target URL I can just include the purchase link from my send-out. And the purchase link can be found right here. I just made sure that I generated the purchase link for a product, and then I selected the product from the drop-down list. And this is the product that I've set up in Sendowl, and I have linked to my Thrive Apprentice course. Okay, now let's just paste here the link. And now I'm gonna do the same for the instances in which the course is not purchased yet. Okay, now lastly, let's move on to the final step of the process, which is setting everything up in Thrive Automator so that your first lesson of the premium course will be unlocked by the students who complete the free digital illustration course. So here in your Thrive dashboard, access Thrive Automator and create a new automation. Let's give it a name. And proceed to this first drop-down list where we can select the start trigger. I will be using the user receives access to a product in this case and use the filtering options from here to make sure that my free course is selected. Okay, now let's set up the action, which in this case will be this one, unlock content for specific user, meaning that the lesson that I select here will be unlocked for those users who fulfill all the conditions. And now the only thing left to do is to publish and save my automation. And that's how you can use Thrive Automator and Thrive Apprentice to automatically unlock the first lesson of a premium course for those students who have completed a free course from your website. I really hope you enjoyed this walkthrough. As always, we have many more videos of this type available in our knowledge base, and I strongly encourage you to check those out as well.